FreshBaked. You guys up for another rope drop test today? We are at Disney California Adventure on a Tuesday morning. It is 7:30 a.m. out here in the Esplanade, getting ready to make our way into the park and head to our first rope drop destination.
Okay.
7:39 as we make our way down Buena-Vista Street. That crowd you saw out in the Esplanade and the extended wait that we just had out there was all due to me being about 5 minutes late to the Toy Story parking lot. I got to the Toy Story parking lot at about 7:03 this morning. You want to get there before the rope drop if you can help it, because that gets you ahead of some of the cars. Caused me to be a little late for the bus. And now here we go. And now we're going to see what happens. What a result is. We're starting at Mission Breakout today, not Radiator Springs Racers, but rather heading up Hollywood Boulevard for Mission Breakout, and that doesn't seem to be too bad up there. I know, not bad, about 4 or 5 deep right here. We should be able to manage this. So the plan today is actually not very detailed because we can't get as much done at DCA as we can at Disneyland at Rope Drop. But we're going to try. The plan is pretty simple. Mission Breakout, Saurin, then cross the park, Toy Story and Incredicoaster, and see if we can't shave a few minutes off of each attraction and fit in a fifth one, perhaps even Radiator Springs Racers, single riders for that effect. But it's a fairly standard, fairly conservative plan, I think, for Rope Drop. Along the way, I'll be updating you guys on why I am making the decisions that I am for each attraction.
We'll be taking down this rope, and I need all of you to wait right where you are, because at 8 o'clock, we will be walking you safely down the street to Guardians of the Galaxy!
The left side. This is left. That's right.
Yeah, single file didn't happen yesterday. That's what happened yesterday. Generally.
Off the curb, stay on the
Now, while we try to make our way into the queue proper here, I will remind you that we tried this beginning strategy a couple months ago. It failed miserably. This was back when they were down to one gantry, and when we rope dropped it, the rope drop time said 90 minutes. And it legit was a 90-minute queue. It was everywhere. This is that rope drop. It was 90 minutes. All that was full. They were lining up down there towards the Hyperion Theater, but this morning we're obviously getting a better deal. It was posted at 15. Hopefully that remains to be the case. I budgeted 30 minutes for this attraction, 8 a.m. to 8:30 to get all the way through into our next attraction, which is Saurin. Or no, I gave 5 minutes to walk, so I think it's 8:30 to get out and then 8:35 to get to Saurin. Good morning. So I don't have a lot of reps here, but I feel like Mission Breakout is the place to start. Definitely not Radiator Springs Racers. When we make our trip, our walk from Mission Breakout to Saurin, we'll talk about that a little bit more. 8:03, and we're already to our pre-show with rocket. We should be in this next room. That's a pretty good start.
Now, one downside to Mission Breakout is that it's a long ride. It says that there's the longest queue. It takes you a while sometimes to get through everything. Then you've got the pre-show with Rocket. Then you've got to wait for the gantry. It's not like Space Mountain where constantly loading that. It's not ideal. I usually try to get off to a much quicker start. I want to get into an attraction as soon as possible. But there's really not there's not a lot of options. I mean, there's not very many choices, and the ones that we have are all similar in this setting. I mean, the closest thing we have to space would be Incredicoaster. I don't like starting back there. I'll talk about that also again here in a minute.
Carefully scrutinize each and every beast that comes to me from different parts of the galaxy that let's you this guy. Hearing your incessant blathering on a constant loop was big motivation for me to escape. I go, ow! Ow! Well, I'm gonna take this. Now move it!
8:08 2-hour gantry lift. Doors will be opening here in just a minute, I think.
Start things rocking! Now show me those hands, people! You got clearance, let's roll! You got my walk there.
Everyone's ready to go?
Yes, our ride's here. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
The kids drop.
Now that went considerably better than I thought it was going to go. We were into our vehicle at 8:10, out of the vehicle. We're done at 8:15. We're out of the attraction. 15 minutes ahead of schedule, and I gotta say, the scene out here in front of the building, now having been on it already at 8:15, looks a lot better than I thought it would also. I was expecting something closer to a Space Mountain effect where there'd be a queue out here already, but the posted wait time says 10 minutes, and there's nobody out here. The queue is all just inside the building right now. There's no queue out there, so there's not been an accumulation of guests. So why did I choose Mission Breakout over some of our other options? Certainly, I mean, it is a popular attraction, so it's not like it's a poor choice no matter what you do, but when I rope drop, I like to get into an attraction as soon as possible. I don't like to waste any time because minutes count. Every minute that you get past 8 a.m. is a chance for more people to come into the park, for you to lose that advantage of being here early. So you really want to be in as much of a hurry, quote unquote. I mean, I don't mean run or go crazy or anything like that, but you want to be as efficient as possible at 8 a.m., at least for that first hour, actually. So I want to get into an attraction right away, especially a Lightning Lane attraction, as always the case. Choices are between that and Saurin up here front. I've done Saurin in the past. I don't feel like we benefit much from doing Saurin first, though. I feel like that's where we're heading, by the way. I feel like I'm going to get the same crowd at Saurin at 8:15, 8:20 than I would at 8 a.m. I didn't think that about Mission Breakout, but as I just mentioned, there were fewer guests out there than I thought there would be. I thought that would be closer to something like Space Mountain, but that's our logic for, I want to get into something as quickly as possible, and I want to knock out one of the top Lightning Lane attractions possible, and that Mission Breakout is one of those attractions. Not sure if I would rope drop the Mickey meet and greet. I'm not sure, but you know what? There is no right or wrong. Do whatever you want, you guys. By no means are you required to do anything that I'm doing here. Do Disneyland. I've seen people rope drop Starbucks, and who am I to argue? But as I mentioned, out in front of Mission Breakout, we're ahead of schedule. So my plan was to be out of Mission by 8:30 and to be into the queue at Saurin by 8:35. It is now 8:19, as we record this, so we're about 15 minutes ahead of schedule already. Hi guys, good morning. Which means we're in pretty good shape for getting into some bonus time. Maybe we do get into a 5th or possibly even 6th attraction by 10 a.m. We'll see. Nobody out here in the standby queue, which is great. I almost thought it might be closed for a second. Thank you, but it is not. We have just been welcomed in. So we're walking on to Saurin, more or less. Let's see, yeah, there's just one little group. That's probably one theater's worth of guests. Good shape here. Giving myself the same estimate as we did for Mission Breakout, 30 minutes for Saurin, which is probably conservative. But again, this is one of the situations where they're not constantly cycling guests. There's only 2 theaters. And so there's a lot of, just sitting and waiting. So depending on how, your timing, if you're into the next theater or not, we're into this one, I think. So that's good. But there is an opportunity for you to have to wait for an entire cycle. And then plus we also have this long pre-show with putty there. So it does take a while to actually get to your vehicle.
How many?
What?
Down. How many? 5, 10 down.
8:27 on our way to our pre-flight prep. That did take a minute. So I'm wondering if they are running just one screen right now.
We'll begin boarding in a few minutes, but first I'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information. Soon you will be airborne. So if you or your little aviators have a fear of flying or of heights, you might want to wait for your party at the arrival gate. Okay, let's review. That is seat belt carrying, item safety, string, fear of heights, keep your hands and arms inside at all times. Yeah. Have a nice one.
That is 8:33. We're done with the pre-show. Heading to row 1. Oh, front row. Right. Well, actually, no. It's top row or front row? I don't even know. Importantly, we're getting the middle row, which means no distortion.
We're into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Vehicle at 8:40. So in spite of it taking a little bit of time, they're not loading everything. We still are well ahead of schedule. We're exiting now about 25 minutes ahead of plan. So at 8:40 we picked up another 10 minutes. We're now 25 minutes ahead of schedule. Our next goal is to be Toy Story Midway Mania, arriving at the entrance at 9:15. And it's at this point that we find what I think is to be the biggest obstacle in determining best strategies, best plans for a rope drop at DCA, because the next batch of attractions that are worth going to at Rope Drop. And by worth, I mean I value highly hitting Lightning Lane attractions early in the morning, first thing, and saving anything that isn't Lightning Lane until after that. However, there aren't a lot of standby attractions here at DCA. Most everything is on Lightning Lane, so it gets kind of dicey, but it's a good walk now to get from here to the next, if we're skipping Cars Land, because I don't believe in rope dropping Radiator Springs at all. I just, if you want to ride, go single rider, but don't be in a hurry. You can do that anytime. Single rider will be available to you for most of the day. So then the next set is back there at Pixar Pier. Now, perhaps the most valuable attraction to rope drop is Midway Mania. It's not here at the front, even though I choose to rope drop the front here. Midway Mania is the one attraction that tends to build a queue quickly, quicker than any other attraction, again, with the exception of Radiator Springs Racers. So that is the most valuable, but the problem with that is that once you commit to going back there, you can try to rope drop it, but once you commit, you're kind of, you are committed. There's a risk. There's been more than one occasion when I've rope dropped or watched rope drop here at DCA where Toy Story doesn't open at 8 a.m., that it doesn't open at rope drop. In fact, we had a recent experience with Getaway where both Toy Story and Incredicoaster did not open at rope drop. If I remember correctly, I remember waiting for both of those attractions. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a risk of that happening on the front side. Certainly there have been cases, like the last time I rope dropped, I tried Mission Breakout, and they were down to just one gantry, and it was a 90-minute wait, and I just bailed. But it's much easier to pivot. I was able to pivot into another attraction. I was able to pivot. I think I went to Monsters, and then I think I did Saurin. I don't remember. But yeah, I went to Saurin next. It's easier to pivot. You get stuck back there at Pixar Pier, and you're kind of have to wait, because what are you going to do? You're going to go all the way back there, and then if those two attractions aren't open for you, or something really bad happens, you're going to come back here to Mission Breakout and then go back there again. We just waited. We just stayed there and waited for Toy Story to open. So I like having a more flexible situation happening there at the front of the park at 8 a.m. and hope that things are in order. It's not too drastic. I think I gave myself, again, half an hour for Toy Story Midway Mania. And considering we're 25 minutes ahead of schedule, I feel like we're definitely on track because I was supposed to be done with Toy Story at 9:50. That's an hour from now, so we're definitely well ahead of schedule, and we're in good shape for Toy Story, hopefully, assuming it's open. By the way, it is valuable at this point to be keeping an eye on the tip board just to make sure that your attractions aren't closed. I just checked now, and both Toy Story and Incredicoaster are up and running. Incredicoaster is 5 minutes right now. The goal is to do that after Toy Story. Toy Story is 15 minutes. So that's definitely agreeable to me. I was not expecting anything better than 15. It would not surprise me, in fact, at 8:45 to maybe have a 20 or 30-minute wait at Toy Story at this point. So there's an Incredicoaster right now. It's posted at 5. I don't think that's 5 minutes, but it's not bad. But it certainly isn't 5 minutes anymore. By the time we get out of Toy Story, it might be at the 15-minute mark. Still posted 15, and it's looking good. I find this agreeable. This will be about 15 minutes, I think. I know I've clocked this room before. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've clocked this room, and this room is like 10 or 15 minutes. Although we're only using about just over half of it. These two switchbacks back there, that's got to be just maybe 10 minutes. And then once you get to the mix point, it's just 5 minutes after that. So we're looking good for 15. I forgot to know we're into this queue. Let's see, it's 8:50 now, so probably 8:49, I'm guessing we got into this queue, 8:49, which, let's see, looking at my schedule, is 26 minutes ahead. So we picked up a minute walking here. I budgeted a 10-minute walk, and we saved 9 by moving briskly. How about that? And that is 8:55 to the mix point. So that was 6 minutes in that covered area plus 5 tops out here. So we're gonna be in a vehicle in about 10 minutes. This is going remarkably well. It's making me feel like this could be a definitive strategy for DCA. I've been hesitant to come up with one. I'm gonna reserve that judgment until the end of the day. But when things are going, all things being equal, this is going very, very well in my opinion. 8:59. We've arrived at our vehicle. 8:59, that's 10 minutes total.
One of those times.
Hey, welcome to him.
It's that tossing time. It's almost over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, I am shooting one-handed, guys. I'm trying to focus on filming, so we're going one-handed. I'm playing right now, actually, as I record this. It's hard enough. I'm really bad at this game.
You have no time to lose. 5, 4, 3, 1. Rings down, people.
Hey, I got that one up there.
Hey, everyone.
I can't believe I got that one up there. That was amazing. Here we go. That's our total. 136. I can never remember if that's good or not. Well, I know I've done better, but I can never remember what I've shot in previous games. I don't keep track of that, but I feel okay, going one-handed that whole time. And there was actually points where I wasn't even shooting at all because I was switching between cameras, etc. So I guess I'm happy with 136. Great time exiting Toy Story Midway Mania at 9:11. Our schedule had us at 9:50, so we are now almost 40 minutes ahead of schedule entering Incredicoaster, which, by the way, the great part about doing these two, which, I mean, naturally, I don't think there's any other way to do them, but right next to each other, because they, they are literally steps away. So if you're doing Toy Story, you should be doing Incredicoaster. I think that goes without saying. And we had budgeted 20 minutes. I figured this one would be quicker than the others. So even at this point in the morning, I had given myself 20 minutes, but I mean, we're so far ahead right now. We'll be done. I think we should be done with this by 9:30. And I will confirm, although I do again think it goes without saying that you should be doing, I think you should be doing Toy Story first, Incredicoaster second, always in that order, never in the reverse order. You want to get Toy Story out of the way as quickly as possible. Minutes count with attractions like that. So even though we're doing it later in the morning because we're doing Saurin and Mission Breakout first, I feel like there's still a chance to get it done in a quick amount of time. But at this point in the morning at 9:12, crowds are coming in. People, the queues are going to be getting longer, quicker, meaning they're going to get the mass of people are going to start flowing into the park, into the queues at a quicker rate. So it's only going to take a few minutes. Or if we go back to Toy Story right now after we ride Incredicoaster, we'll check the standby, and I would have to think that it's got to be in the pushing 30 minutes at this point, maybe even more. Who knows? We're approaching the end
At this point, we're pushing the end of the valuable part of a rope drop morning. (9:21) and we're almost ready to go up the stairs, but that's 10 minutes so far in the queue. It's posted at 10 minutes by the way, which is still incorrect. We knew that 5 was wrong, but that 10 minutes is wrong also because we're still at least 5 minutes away from getting to our vehicle. Probably just a couple minutes now. He'll be letting us go upstairs in a minute, and then 5 more minutes from the top of the stairs back down to the ride vehicles. Meanwhile, I went ahead and checked the app, the tip board, to see where Midway Mania was, and it is now already at 30 minutes. We'll go and do a drive-by in the queue when we're done here to verify that, but they have bumped it from 15 to 30.
Yes, there's more amusement and exceptional conduct.
All right, 9:23. That actually went a little quicker than I thought it would. 9:23 to row 2.
Keep your eye on Jack.
And the baby is gone.
Head back, face forward, and hold on. 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Hey, sweetie, come to mommy. No, don't go,
Little one-way times.
Thank goodness.
Out of our vehicle at 9:30. I've spent, I don't know if I can spend any more today, even though I am supposed to shoot another video after this. But total victory. We'll see. Yeah, we were supposed to be done here at 10:10. It's 9:30. We shaved 40 minutes off of our ETA. We're in bonus time. And I think we're going to be spending that heading over to Cars Land. A little single rider at Radiator Springs Racers. By the way, acceptable alternatives at this point would be Goofy Sky School. It's nearby. I would even say Pixar Pal Around would be acceptable because that's an attraction that you want to try to beat the rush on, because that is not an enjoyable queue to wait in for 40 minutes, in my opinion. So I would be fine if you guys chose that. That'd be good. But like I said, I want to see what Radiator Springs Racers looks like at this point in the morning, both standby and single rider, though we will be going single rider. But before we do that, let's go put eyes on the back of the Toy Story queue. That they had updated the wait time to 30 minutes, and this does reconcile with that more or less. We spent maybe 8 minutes in that queue, but that was just half, so double that, figure 16. Plus this stretch right here is 5 or 7 minutes maybe, so that could still be, you know, that is a 30-minute queue that we're looking at right now, and that's absent any influence from Lightning Lane. So, what is it, 9:30? We got here at 9:10. We arrived at Toy Story at 9:10. 20 minutes later, the standby wait has doubled in 20 minutes. And that's what I was talking about when I was in the Incredicoaster queue, that it's at this point in the morning that the wait times get a little bit more exponential. It's not drastic, but rather than adding a minute or two, they start to double. And then pretty soon it'll be 45 minutes, and then it'll be 60 minutes. So it's at about
Usually it's about 9:15, 9:30. Morning. Usually it's about 9:15, 9:30 where that starts to happen, and that's at both parks. And that's about a 5 or 6 minute walk from Toy Story Midway Mania to Route 66 here in Cars Land. Let's go check out Radiator Springs Racers. And I'm spying a 60-minute standby queue right now. There's the back right there. Where that happened quick. But we're not going that direction. We're going single rider. Yeah, there's the back of the standby queue. That's less than ideal at 9:40 in the morning. The good news though is that at 9:40 in the morning you are less likely to encounter Lightning Lane. I feel like if you're going to buy Lightning Lane, you should be doing it in the middle of the day. That would be my advice, by the way. Don't buy it in the morning because you're not really saving a lot of time. If the idea is to spend that money to save time, then do it when the time savings is 60, 90 minutes. This may not, as long as Lightning Lane stays like this, that standby queue that you're seeing on the right will go quicker than the posted 60. As long as it keeps looking like this. As for single rider, I mean, this is a peach, you guys. This is a peach. Often you will find the queue going all the way back towards the bridges there, the two overpasses. But this morning at 9:41, single rider is positively delightful. We got through that so fast I didn't even get a chance to mark the time, but it is 9:41. So that took us maybe less than 2 minutes, maybe a minute or two. But we basically walked right into this section of single rider, which, I mean, it varies how long this could take, but this is maybe 5 or 10 minutes tops. So we could conceivably be into a double bonus situation. We're on our 5th ride. Well, I made a very conservative schedule today because it just, these queues take so long to get through. I was really surprised by the Mission Breakout queue, and we got through the whole thing in 15 minutes. You can't get through Space Mountain in 15 minutes. You have to really, really crush Space Mountain in order to get through there in 15. Usually it's about 18 to 20. So I was pretty impressed with that. Look at that standby queue right now. It is very dense right here. Bottle room is completely full. The server station is completely full. The barn is completely full, and the back of the queue is now right about the Radiator Springs fountain. I would though, it's posted 60, that looks like a dense queue. I would though endorse at this point at 9:44 in the morning, I would endorse, if you choose to get in that standby queue if you don't want to do single rider. I would not argue with your choice to get in right now. You're better to do it now, better to try it now at 9:45 than to try it at noon or 1 o'clock. Do it in the morning, do it in the evening. So, because you have a better chance, by the way, the reason why I'm saying that, you have a better chance, in spite of all this, you have a better chance of beating that 60 minutes because Lightning Lane is still not showing up yet, as we mentioned earlier. It's still not a peak time for Lightning Lane. There is some guests here showing up. But your odds are better of beating that 60 minutes in the morning at 9:30 than they are at noon or 1 o'clock. And there is no discount, right? Once you pass that rope drop. And again, I will say this as well. There are going to be people who want to rope drop Radiator Springs Racers. I don't recommend it. I feel like you should just save it for single riders, but I'm not, go ahead. If that is your choice, do whatever it is that you want to do. These are just strategies to help you save a little time. I'm not saying you can't do go ahead. But there's no discounts at this point forward until the end of the night, until after maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. There's no discounts today. It's going to be, that's it. So you're not going to find a 40-minute queue. You're not going to find a 40-minute wait for Radiator Springs racers for the rest of the day until you get to the evening, the last couple hours of the park operations. Early in the morning, rope drop, if you want to do a 45-minute queue, you're going to get 40. I have rope dropped Radiator Springs racers and waited, I think it's at least 30. So, it's not like you're going to get the super walk-on type experience. Just about here, and I have to fight the urge every single time to tell the cast member that I am just one. I don't know if you guys are with me on that, but I'm always like getting ready to tell them how many are in my party, and of course, the answer is 1. 48 to our vehicle, so that took, gosh, now I forgot. Was it 7 minutes? Did that take 7 minutes?
It's gonna be fun.
Probably just a bad spark plug, hippie.
Remove into a ride. Looking good. Shiny paint don't win a race. I'll get up there. Rest of your life. Move for the money. Move for the show. Try to get ready and go on.
So if I remember correctly, we got in this queue at 9:41. We are now walking out at 9:57, 16 minutes all in. Standby is getting brutal over there. Well, that's right, we saw it with the back of the queue. That's right. I thought we saw it by the fountain, but it's actually all the way back here into that threshold bullpen. Radiator Springs Racers is fast approaching no go. By the way, we're still in the bonus. We're still in the bonus. It's 9:57, which means we're going to celebrate with a victory tour at Vader's Junkyard Jamboree. 10-minute standby, which is something you'll find here almost always. But we're into the queue at 9:59. Total victory today. And I'm calling that a total victory. I'm pretty confident that was the order of operations that accomplished that. We hit, 6 attractions, including the 5 biggest lightning attractions. We're talking about Mission Breakout, Saurin, Toy Story Midway Mania, Incredicoaster, and Radiator Springs Racers, plus this little bonus right here on Vader's Junkyard Jamboree. All before 10 a.m. 6 attractions. That's a win. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Might be a definitive strategy. Oh! Ah! Any day that ends with Vader's Junkyard Jamboree. And that is 10:08 in the morning, and that is our show today. Hi guys, morning. I do sure hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked, where we're doing additional recon analysis, Q analysis, park science. It's the best, you guys. So check us out there. And also join our newsletter. There's a link in the description. Same thing, more park analysis. I might be doing a breakdown of this day to help put it in writing how things went today. So look for that soon, and then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBaked Disney, that's Fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBaked Disney. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. FreshBaked. Oh, and if you're still here, a little bonus. I'm going to be taking a break after this little rope drop adventure here, and then I'm getting back to work to film a show for our acoustic channel, Tours Departing Daily, so be sure to look out for that. There's a link for that in the description below. We're going to be spending a couple hours here and then park hopping over to Disneyland for a little bit, so I hope you guys can enjoy us, or join us at Tours Departing Daily. Link in the description. FreshBaked.